Hey guys, Jason, CB Customs. So the time has finally come. We're going to finish the firewall so we can get this thing back on. Now that the exhaust system's done, we're ready to do it. Now you remember, before we pulled it off, we marked where the cylinder head was and where the intake was. I've decided to taper it because this is all an open area right now and we need to have room for our handle for that vent. So we're going to make a tapered edge right here. I'm going to finish it off with 18 gauge steel. So here's the plan. I'm going to take and we'll measure and drill a hole on each end, and then I'll take the plies and I'll cut across, and then I'll take the plies and cut down at an angle. So I'm going to get that prepped, and then we'll get the plies over here and we'll cut that piece out so we can make a template to weld in our new piece. Now we also have to make sure that our heater box is going to fit, so while that's open we'll get the heater box, we'll set it in, because we may need to put another gusset here to make that look right, or to make the heater box fit. And we already restored the heater box, so we're going to put it back in the truck. And it does get pretty cold, as you can see. So I'm going to get the drill and tape out, I'll get those marked, and then we'll take our next look at it. Alright, so I've measured out and I've got the angles. Well, you can see the angle on this side. That's where our plate's going to go. This is where the engine was, this is where the intake was. I wanted to give it about 3 inches so that if we have to adjust the valves or something, we can still get the valve cover off without lifting the cab. So this is what I've given it. I'm going to take the plies. I got the plies somewhere around here. So I'll get my glasses and gloves and all that fun stuff. And I'll just come in here and I'll zap this dude out. And then the next thing we're going to look at, we're going to grab the heater box and we'll set it in here because it's going to be on the back side here. We got to see what's going to happen right here. There's a good chance we're going to have to do something else here for the heater box to fit, because it's got an outlet tube that's going to go to the defroster, and then there's a little door that does your floor heating. So I'm going to knock this out real quick. We'll grab that heater box and we'll take a look inside. And with any luck, it's not going to be too hard. Okay, so we got it cut. You can see all sides. I just kind of freehanded it because I'm going to clean it up before we weld everything back in anyways. And saves a lot of time. You'll never know the difference. And honestly, the cut looks pretty straight, so I'm happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera here, show you what it looks like, and then we've got the heater box right here. We'll jump inside and see how it looks on the inside. Okay guys, you can see I stayed right on my line. Looks pretty good. This handle right here, this is for that vent up top, and it comes when you open it. It's only about 1/4 of an inch from there, but this is all going to be tapered, so it's going to work pretty good. The heater box is going to go on this side. We'll clean all this up, and then we'll finish all of our welding around in here and box it in. It looks like we've got enough room up here that that heater box can sit right above, so the vent comes just above, and it's going to work nice. So let's take a look. We'll get inside. Okay guys, got the heater box. I'm in the cab now. You can see what we just cut out. This is where we're going. So I'm gonna see how this thing fits. It's not the lightest, but I think I can handle it and show you. All right. So see, that's the tube I was talking about. It's gonna go right up there. We bolt right to the back. You still see that coming out from the dash. I like it. Another thing I think I'm going to do, I'll show you guys this. Here on the heater core, I think I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to come off at 90 on both. So instead of going through the firewall here, I can bring the hoses down and they'll go underneath, so we can keep that firewall looking really clear. Or clean. So the other thing I might do is weld on a bracket from inside that, again, you won't see, it'll be behind the heater, but we'll weld it on from the inside so we can bolt it, and then we don't have bolts going through the firewall either. We'll try and keep our firewall looking really clean. But actually installing the heater box will be another video. This video is on us finishing the firewall so we can put the truck on, or the cab on the truck for the last time. So, you can see this thing's, we did that a long time ago. It's just real dirty. Okay, so I'm gonna clean that up. We'll make a template and we'll get it welded in because it looks like the heater box is gonna fit the way it is. All right, guys, I just kind of got you zoomed in on our sheet of steel, just 18 gauge steel. Made our template. We drew it out. That looks like you can see it. What we're going to use to do this is sheet metal snipping tool. And I'm going to go ahead and leave the camera rolling for it because I think it works pretty good. It leaves a clean cut. It rolls about, I don't know, about 1/8 of an inch of steel out as it cuts. It's basically like scissors, double-sided scissors. Works really neat. So make sure you know that whatever edge, like this is the piece we want, so this is our cutting edge we're going to focus on. If we wanted this piece, we'd be focused on this cutting edge. But we want this piece, so we're watching this side. When it starts rolling, you got to watch it. There we go. Probably should have taken that one a little further, but messed up on that, I guess. We'll just jump back in here. Still didn't take it far enough. Now let's try it. Boom. So the edges, real clean, steel still looks good. We'll jump back over here and we'll lay it in the cab. I'll just bring it over for you here. All right. Let's get down here. There we go. All right. So, come right up in here. It's right on top. And you can see the gaps. Actually, you may not be able to see it, but I never did grind this down flat. So I'm gonna go ahead and grind that before we start welding it in. You can see nice clean look. We already know we clear. Looks real symmetrical, I like it. So we get that clean, we'll start tacking this in. I think I'll show you guys when I've got it all welded in, and then we'll clean it up and we're gonna paint it, because anything we're doing work on, we're gonna paint. But we're not gonna paint this. So we'll just paint the firewall in here that we're working on. We're keeping all this patina. So just sticking with the plan. All right, guys, so I got it all welded in all the way around. We welded in here. Now, on a normal job, if we were actually doing like a restoration, we'd get in with the die grinder and the die sander, and we'd clean all this up and make it look real smooth, and we'd fill it with a little body filler and make it look like one piece. Now, this is not a traditional build, and part of this build is kind of, it needs to look like This was something that was modified back in the 50s or something. I mean, it's a 46, although the CHP did give it a date of 41. I don't think it's right, but they gave me the title, so I'll take it. So because we're going for a look like that, it actually looks really good the way it is. I'm going to get it prepped, and we're going to get some paint on it, and we'll do our final walk around, show you how it looks, and we'll move on to putting it back on the truck for the last time. Okay guys, got some paint on it. Now the paint's still wet, that's why it's like super shiny. But I wanted to give you guys one last look at it, because soon it's going to go back on the truck. You kind of look at it. I think it's got a great look. But once it goes back on the truck, you really don't get to see a whole lot of it. So again, that angle, this is the vent, sorry. This is the vent that opens up. You guys know old trucks, you understand how that works. That's why we put the taper, but I think the taper adds to the look of the firewall, so I'm happy with it. But now we put it back on. I just put a light coat of black on because when we get to the floor, I'm not 100% sure if we can use the original flooring stuff, and then we're still going to have to modify the original to meet if we can. If not, we got to modify a bunch of flooring stuff, and we'll do that on the cab because we got to do it around the transmission and the engine and all that fun stuff. So there she is, and she's ready to go back on the truck. Please, for the last time. All right, guys. When we do our next video probably going to be on putting the electric choke on our carburetor, because I couldn't get the right carburetor I wanted. It came with that. It's a heat style choke, so it takes heat from the exhaust. Well, we'll get into that, but we're going to get the fueling system right at that point. Exhaust is already done, but we'll do that with the cab on. So, all right, guys. Next time you see it, it'll be on the truck.